6, week 5. We're about to get pick ban started here again for game 2. MVP for game 1. We asked, you guys answered. Looks like Slaga with 8 votes.
Go Slagisha. Go Slagisha. Either way, I like either one of those would have been phenomenal picks.
Yeah.
Right? And we're already in the pick ban. Oh god, we already see 2 bans dropped on each side. We see the Evelyn and the Olaf, the Respect coming out for New Cap Turk. LeBlanc and Diana, WSP picking up the same bans that they picked up from the last time. Denying C-ban some comfort picks, it looks like. So C-ban can't carry. Not a bad idea.
An excellent call for the Olaf ban on PMAA's part.
There's the Pike respect. And the Shen respect for Molly Hentai Boy.
Yeah, it's same bands coming down from WSP. I think they had a very strong showing game 1. So game 2, it makes sense that they would just keep the same bands, especially because if they felt that comfortable on that particular comp, you know, taking those champs away from them probably isn't that big of an issue. First pick coming down, Mantheon in the top lane. Pretty risky first pick, I think. But you know what? It's not my team, right?
That champion could crush my head between his thighs. Am I right, ladies? Yeah! Nobody else, just me? Fuck.
Wow.
Did you see the Senna pickup? I do think the Senna is a very good pickup. Senna, and we obviously see the Kled picked up Caligula game. So Senna could go to either Slaga or Piper Aces. I'm going to say some more for Slaga. But regardless, excuse me, Senna's OP. I still think Senna's OP regardless of nerfs. Champion dummy thick, as the kids say, with like 6 C's. Already seeing this. I don't particularly know. Oh, I like that. I do like the Zyra pick.
Spicy.
Imagine that being Zyra mid.
I think it's going to be Zyra support. That's just my thought, especially with the Senna showing. Coming from PMAA, I think. Ooh. Camille.
Chamomile
Chamomile tea. So maybe it's Camille in the top lane. Now that they saw the Kled, they probably baited that out. That is big brain right there.
What if it's Pantheon top Camille jungle? Just in theory. Would that work?
Would be even spicier, but I would not put it past them. Honestly, I could see it happening.
We do see the MF pickup. I love this. I think MF is one of the strongest ADCs on paper right now.
Absolutely.
Statistically speaking, she's super huge in her stats, like her win rates and all that. She just outputs a ton of damage. I mean, I personally don't. This is just me personally, and this is personal preference. I don't like playing with MFs. Right? At Jirachi, I'm sorry, love you to death, but MF is so weird to lane with because like MF can just bully with Q, but like has, you know, and can poke with E, but like it's just like you really have to rely on your support. And so it seems like Piper has a lot of trust in Slaga on this Senna.
There we see a Victor ban coming down. So we got
the
Cass,
same 5
Victor,
bans.
Diana, and LeBlanc all targeted mid at C-Van. Wow.
I think they leave the mid lane counter pick for Vitalis here, and what they do is they opt to give they opt to pick a jungle because it's pretty much what you have left. You can counter pick the jungle with either Camille or Pantheon. You can literally just pick anything into that. They do ban away the Grave, which is a really strong jungle pick. I wouldn't be surprised. Like actually, something that would round out this comp very well would be a Nocturne. I think Nocturne would be pretty good. I don't know if New Kappa plays Nocturne, but Nocturne I think would be really strong here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Might see a okay. We've got a Vi coming down.
That's also a very strong pick in my opinion. You have a lot of hard engage with Senna W, you know, MF slow, Kled ultimate, Vi, just as Vi, because Vi does dummy, thick, stupid Vi things. But yeah, that's really, I think that right now the side of WSP is really strong. I think to round this out, a very strong poke mid laner would be very good.
Ooh,
Draven.
Draven coming down. The old fudgy Draven.
What you like to see? So we're gonna see a blind pick mid laner. I would love to see Malphite here, you know? At Big Dick Ganwiener. I actually don't know what would round out this comp very well. It's very difficult. Heimer! Is that supposed to be a Heimerdinger? Kog'Maw.
Okay. Okay.
Kog'Maw mid is C-Van. I know C-Van plays a lot of
yeah,
Kog'Maw.
it's definitely C-Van with Kog'Maw mid.
That's big brain.
Slogbaw. See the Rise coming down from WSP. Rounding it out with some AP damage.
This, I think, is a very good comp. I do like it. I think the lack of CC in the mid lane is going to be a little problematic, but you're going to have to buy looking for the mid lane outside WSP. But I do think this game is going to be a lot different than game one. Like, you're putting a lot of faith into your Draven. If your Draven gets shut down early, you are going to get bonered super hard if you're PMAA. I really think it's going to show how, literally how effective it's going to, like, you have to be.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how both teams kind of went from more of an aggressive team comp instead of, I don't see a true tank on either team. I would say Kled might be the closest thing we see there in the pick ban. But even Kled, he's very mobile. He's hard to hit, but he does not have a gigantic health bar. It's more of just dismounting him that really, is effective. And obviously into the late game, he will have several items that make him pretty tanky. Obviously pulling the Shen away from Lolly Hentai Police is a very smart move. The Camille is an excellent pick. I think PMAA, from everything that I see here, they seem to have a lot more tools in their favor this time around. They're not necessarily relying on waiting till the mid game. They have a lot more early aggression. That's just my feeling, though.
Yeah. I really think this pick ban is like, the Zyra Draven is very strong. And I think that's going to be the potential for carry. Because, like, Kog'Maw mid has to get to the late game to be good. And, wow. That was a voice crack if I've ever heard one. Holy fucking shit, dude. Going through puberty again. But I think the Pantheon, like Camille, will scale better into the mid to late game. Like, if you can get to the late game with your PMAA, your team comp is very strong. But in addition, you have a Rise on the other side, and that Rise can match you anywhere you go, and it's going to be super strong to deal with the Rise. It's going to be very difficult, as well as dealing with the MF and the center, which are infinitely scaling champions. So I really think if you're PMAA, you have to win in the mid game and then shut them down.
And not get caught by the Kled Vi, as StarCraft brings up. A lot of immobile champs versus a Kled and a Vi.
Oh, yeah. Very hard.
That's a very good point.
It's very, very difficult, and I'll throw that out there. So, I do want to point out something though. Like, these matchups are, while very tricky, are not the gonna be the most powerful thing. I'm just very, I don't know, as a bot laner, like we both kind of know. I prefer the Zyra into the Senna, even though Senna can heal her ADC and like heal herself and kind of fight for it. I will say that the Draven and the MF, I do prefer the Draven with the displace because in the individual 1v1, Draven can displace MF out of ultimate. I think Draven ultimate being global is a little bit stronger. And I think Draven as a 1v1 champion, just in general, is a stronger champion. Like, I think Draven is stronger if resources are funneled. And I think this composition, especially with the Pantheon and like the Camille, are going to look to potentially try and peel for the Draven, particularly with stun and Camille ultimate, are going to look to peel for it back.
Yeah, I think the Draven has the potential to outrun the Misfortune, especially Misfortune's core kit relies on 4 items. She doesn't really... she has some moments, but especially with the PTA nerfs, that really slows down her tempo. She's currently S tier. She's not OP tier, but she definitely can scale really well with that Senna Misfortune. I hard agree. I think... honestly, I've got to go back to StarCraft's comment. It's been ringing in my ears. The Vi Kled, how does PMAA stop that? I don't see a whole lot of tools other than the Zyra route, possibly. Kog'Maw has a slow. Camille has lockdown. Pantheon has a stun. Just a couple of tools there. I'm curious to see how they position their fights is definitely where all of their potential lies. If they can do a good job of getting to that mid game, if they can do a good job of like not inting too much, I think that will be huge in their favor.
Yeah,
StarCraft says 4 items and 3 of them are Doran's blade. Oh man. 3 Dorans and an Infinity Edge.
OPTSM fan says no more Stinky, but if we're playing, see, you say that, but this is TFT and Kog'Maw's poison, and so is Twitch. Therefore, there is Stinky. There is big Stinky.
Yeah, WSP has Hextech on their side, so really.
Oh, true. Wait.
What season is this?
Wait, WSP. No, what do you mean? Vi's the only Hextech champion. Wait,
Yeah.
Vi's the only Hextech champion. But you need 2. I thought you needed 2 for Hextech.
Well, who's the second poison on PMAAs? Zyra poison?
Zyra's not. Oh no, Zyra's Inferno Summoner. Draven is Stinky. Draven has body odor, therefore Draven is poison.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Wait, Draven is toxic. Wait, Draven's a toxic champion, therefore Draven is poison. Confirmed. Sold to the highest bidder. But yeah, I mean, we're a minute out from starting the game. I would like to hear your thoughts on who you think is going to win and why.
Based on the tools given to them and based on their coordination game 1, I feel like I have to go with WSP again. I think they had a really strong showing game 1. I don't think they're going to be able to end as fast, but with their current composition, I don't think that matters too much to them.
I think that's a good point. I want to caveat that. I do think WSP initially, if they play it like they played game 1, will be strong and will have a high opportune chance for winning. But I do want to point out you have a double ADC comp, and these both ADCs scale pretty well in the mid game with Draven and Kog'Maw. If you get to that point and they're actually pretty ahead and to the point where they can carry, I think PMAA can do that, especially when you have the control with Zyra. And if Zyra goes a Rhyalized Crystal Scepter build, where you hit your W, where you throw down some Ws and lay down some Qs, and you just poke them down to slow them, throw down ultimate, your ADCs can hit away.
Yeah.
It does not matter. Your ADCs will literally just clean house. And it's quite impressive.
I was looking at these champion cards.
I missed my Malphite. I missed Malphite championship card.
Oh my gosh, right?
I apologize.
Okay. Got the objective timers up. And we have a pause.
Wouldn't be PMAOCS without a pause. Hee hee XD. Saw, dude.
It's okay. We'll pause
Coach.
10 seconds. Let me know when you're ready, and we can count up.
I am pause at 10.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You have your own jersey?
Yeah, dude.
A lot of pings coming down from both teams.
Yeah, dude. So I'm seeing a lot of while they're doing a lot of their like pinging. Like, you think it's gonna be
Emotes.
5 point? Yeah, you think it's gonna be 5 point defensive? Wow, that's an aggressive.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Positioning.
startup.
Yeah, dude, it's a really interesting positioning, especially like when you're sitting forward a brush, like, and you don't really have a good level. I mean, you have a level 1, but it's not particularly strong. It's actually pretty difficult. But they're noting that they have vision of the blue because of that ward placed right outside of the blue buff. And that's a little bit scary if you are on the side of like if you're a WSP and they know exactly where you are, they can kind of run it down. Ooh-wee.
It's interesting to see that Vi setup. No wards on the side of PMAA at blue. New Kappa going for that early Cheeserino for the blue.
I think the Pantheon is just gonna go right there. Oh no, going to chickens first. But this does allow the opportunity for horizontal jungling. We do see the quick level 2 from both junglers there. But I think the problem is going to be the fact that, like,
And Pantheon sees his blue is missing, starts going hunting around the red side jungle of WSP. Vi sees him there. He's gonna fight him. Pantheon has red buff, dealing tons of damage to New Kappa Turk. Going in, flashes dropped. He's going to charge up that Q. We see the roam coming down from Vitautus. First blood going to Menbung. Excellent invade there. C-Van dropping the slow on Vitautus. A stun from Menbung. A flash coming down from Vitautus. Pantheon has no flash to follow up. Kaligi landing the bear trap. Getting collapsed on by Lolly Hentai Police. Getting chunked pretty low on that mount. Will we see the dismount? There it is. Kaligi does have flash, gets away a little bit. Lolly Hentai Police following with flash. Explosive game just like last. A lot of summoner spells. The remount from Kaligi.
Really
and
good.
New Kappa Turk is back for the party. Kaligi gets away. New Kappa Turk now in a 1v2. Menbung still with that red buff, slowing down, dealing that burn damage to New Kappa. New Kappa 0-2 already. A lot of contesting up in that top side jungle. Really well played by PMAA, recognizing that invade of the blue buff and then pursuing them into that jungle and following up with those kills. It's a risky fight, especially with not a whole lot of wards, but you see they dropped those their second wards in there to get that invasive vision.
Yeah, we
really
do
worked
see the
out
red
for
buff
him there.
denied. Yeah, the red buff denied for New Kappa, and that's really huge, specifically on a buy. That kind of delays your level 3 gank, and Vi is a very high potential level 3 like jungle champion. Oh, Slaga getting taken
Ignite
down by the
coming down
burn.
on Slaga. Really good route by Rob, but Slaga does get away. Piper doing some trade damage back. New Kappa and Menbung at it again. Meanwhile, Vitautus and C-Van rotating up. We see some help pings coming down. A 2v2 in the bot lane. Fudgy Ditter's getting taken down by Piperisis. Menbung getting shut down by Rise. That's a huge gold transfer to the mid lane. 150 extra gold.
Ooh,
Slaga picking up the kill in the bot lane. Who has sums left? Looks like C-Van. C-Van and Piper has flash. Yeah.
That's
TP
all
and
you
Lolly
need.
Hentai Police.
Listen, all you need is flash. When you're an
That's
ADC,
true,
all you
that's
need is
true.
flash. You can outplay literally everyone.
Why
You
heal
can
when you can
confirm,
flash?
As an ADC, you can confirm. All you need is flash, and you will outplay everybody. In the back blue seat. We do see this is a pretty large wave being shoved in by Kaligi. Just trying to get some damage down and trade it out a little bit. But level 4 reach for the Camille. Good trades. We do see level 5 in the mid lanes. The bot lane is everything is even across the board actually. Uh-oh.
Menbung dealing tons of damage to Vitautus, blowing through his kit. Vitautus coming back with a chase poke damage, avoids the slow from Kog'Maw.
Not only that, but dodged the skill shot from the Pantheon spear throw, which is really good. You know, as Vitautus, your goal in lane is to stay alive. You have the 1 kill. You're already you're already relatively ahead. Well, I say relatively. You have, you know, some advantage. But that's a lot of damage from Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's disgusting.
And Kog'Maw taking 2 turret shots for the trade. We see a big play happening in the top, a 1v2 on Kaligi. That mount is amazing for keeping Kled alive both under friendly and enemy turrets.
Mid lane. You're getting testy, Vitautus. Vitautus is getting real testy. Like 10 HP, like still fighting. Oh, get him!
Kappa getting some good damage down. Sivan returning the favor. Gank coming in by Menbug, looking for the kills. Can he get Vitautus? Can he get Vi? Sorry, new Kappa. 5 Vitautus. Fudgy Ditters takes the poke from Slaga. Slaga getting those souls.
That's really what you want as the Senna. You just want to just kind of farm, get your Solishas. But really, the really big thing now to mention is that Ocean Drake is the first one up. And that is the out-of-combat region, and that's huge. I think it's huge for both teams. I think it's more effective on the side of PMAA. Like, the out-of-combat region would be huge. Kaligi can naturally regen some health, you know, and Vitautus having the shield will be nice. But I really think if it goes to the side of PMAA, it'll actually be really huge. But it looks like they're going to go ahead and just, like, back off. It looks like PMAA is just going to back off. It looks like the side of, whatever it is, Space Police, World Space Police.
Yeah, it's a potentially risky play. They know bot lane has taken their reset and will be back to contest shortly. They don't have visual on the Menbung. Kaligi and Lali Hentai Police trading some severe damage in the top lane. Kaligi has been dismounted. Lali Hentai Police taking that anti-healing damage from Kaligi.
Oh, that bounce. That was actually
a huge CS lead in the bot lane. About 700 gold lead on Piperisis with that kill and the CS differential.
Ooh, there's a lot of damage put down in the top lane. Both top laners are low. We do see Bung pressing the bot lane, and the mid laners just fighting
for
it
the
out.
Pressure, and new Kappa hunting for the Q. PMAA setting up for a possible dragon, floating around it, warding out.
Yeah, there's just a lot of like small trades and transitions happening. And something I do want to point out of something that's
huge double root coming down from Rob in the bot lane. Slaga taking tons of damage. Rob securing the kill with the auto. Piperisis getting ignited. A heal coming down from Fudgy Ditters. We also have trades in the top lane. Kaligi with an excellent flash, but it's not enough to get out of Lali Hentai Police's Camille ultimate. Holy cow. What's going on here, guys?
I think
Can't we all just get along?
This is a much different game than game one, and I'm really stoked for it.
WSP turned on the gas, especially with the comp and what they're doing. They are leaning into this early game to mid game comp, getting those plates, getting Draven fed. That's the goal.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of just like side lane pressure, like the Camille just being able to do whatever she wants, and that happens. Here comes the delayed.
New Kappa going down to Camille in the top lane.
Oh, the missed trap. You really hate to see that if you're Kaligi. Like, you really needed to hit that trap to at least extend them fight a little bit longer.
Yeah, the Camille is doing a lot of work for them there in the top lane. They have a nice lead in pretty much every lane except for mid, which honestly is fine. Kog'Maw is just farming up that tier, getting swole.
Yo, imagine Kog'Maw, but with not tiny arms. Like Kog'Maw, but with Pantheon arms. Just
First Rift Herald going
flexing
down
on,
to
flexing on all the biddies. Just,
PMAA.
what's up, girl? Looking for the bot lane play. The Zyra on the flank here looks really interesting. Threatening it, but not committing. Interesting.
An excellent route by Rob. That's 2 in a row. Piper getting double ulted, but healed by Slaga, taking the mist out of the fight. That will be enough. A flash coming down from Fudgy Ditters on cooldown.
Oh, that's
Rob
huge.
flashing
that's
to the left. Piper
huge.
scooping up that kill. Very aggressive play by Rob. Excellently done. Oh, the Vi ultimate coming in for the shutdown gold. Unfortunate overstay.
Yeah, by Rob there, but that's what we call the yeet.
The
as
yeet.
The kids say. Yeah, the kids say this is what we call the yeet. You give it up and just yeet.
You just.
Oh, I want to look at some. I want to look at some phenomenal things in chat going on. Someone's. This is a very bloody game. Oh,
another kill in the top lane.
And on the topic of good old lolly hentai, someone in chat said, "Stop! They had families."
Yeah. First Drake going down to WSP. Ocean Drake is very good for their team, especially as they migrate into that later game team with the Rise, with the Vi, with the Kled.
Yeah, your pick.
Misfortune
your pick is going to be
getting to her
disgusting.
first item.
That's really big. I think MF Power Spike, I think we've talked about this a little bit. The Power Spike of MF is 3 items, right?
4 items actually.
So I misspoke. I remember
okay.
we talked. I couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4. I knew it was somewhere in the later portion of the game. But like same thing with your Rise. Your Rise already has the Seraph's Embrace completed. So it's a very different look. And we do see this is rough. Kaligi taking
Big
some
trades. We have a
unfavorable
Kled
trades.
ult to escape.
Ooh,
and
good
Wally
slow.
Hentai Police policing that top lane. A lot of vision control. We see the Rift Herald getting popped in the top. Taking that turret down.
Something to make note of is the low vision scores, like in the mid and top side of the side of SSM, whatever they are, the World Police Force. Oh no, I'm gonna keep butchering it. But you see you see a 6 ward score from their top laner, their jungler, and their mid laner. But you see a lot more vision control on the side of the jungle.
Getting rooted by Rob. A big ult coming down from Piper, Isis, and New Kappa. Turk, Fudgy Ditters ulting in response. Double kill for New Kappa and a kill for Piper.
This is really
big impact.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is really tight now. So we do see that Minbung is ahead, completed the warrior enchantment, and has the serrated third. But I would never count a Vi out of the game.
Yeah, she's currently sitting on 2,200 gold. She just needs to back. I think she's about equal right now in gold, but definitely down in the item advantage.
Yeah, so a skirmish could come up right now, and the Pantheon could very easily. Yep, here it is. The Pantheon could look to literally just engage. And knowing that you have your Zyra and your Draven on the way, you could just look to just poke and kite it back as far as you can and do the best you can to the tower, and then let your bot lane take over. And the enemy, the enemy bot lane is already
catch
screwed.
Out by Lolly Hentai Police here, eliminating Cvan. Sorry, Vitautus, not Cvan. Different person on Rise this game. And a root coming down from Slaga onto Fudgy Ditters. Misses the ult, but Piper is there to clean up the kills. Double kill for Piper. This is just a blood-soaked match. 9-9 at 1440.
This is really what you'd like to see. This game is neck and neck. and like I really think game one was a warm up,
Mhm.
and it's now allowing each team to kind of show their true potential. Specifically, I wanna shout out Lali Hentai, who's been very consistent in both games, very strong performance in the top lane, regardless of what it takes. Like it's a very strong top lane performance.
Mhm.
Ugh. Ooh.
Rob with
Oh.
yet another great route. Kaligi walking through a ward, and Rob throws down the CC. Keep him out of there. Big Kleddle
Oh,
coming
good
in the
time.
bot lane. 4 people getting the move speed, but not enough to dive the Draven.
That's fine. I really think you're okay with burning that there just to threaten it and create pressure. But at the same token, if you overstay like they're kind of looking to now, you're really looking. Oh, the pick on the Kog'Maw. Ooh, big combo. All right, the smite drop. Oh, the Camille engage. Oh, this is huge actually.
Holy moly. Kaligi jumping onto Rob. Piper Isis on a rampage. Rise teleporting into the jungle, but they ran towards mid. Lolly looking for the pick on Vitautus, gets caught by New Kappa's Q. Kaligi and New Kappa locking him down. Draven looking for the pick. Doesn't secure it, but it looks like they scared them off of Dragon. A lot of fighting happening right before Dragon and not necessarily on Dragon spawn. It's an interesting play of self-control. I find myself doing the exact same thing almost every game. It's like team pings
Yeah.
me, Dragon's up, and I run in and die.
Hey,
But
sometimes it just be like that.
only one
Oh,
one member of PMAA is down currently. Both teams have vision near Dragon. Menbung just threatening, making sure he keeps them off. See a teleport coming down.
yeah. This
Oh
is
my
gonna. I think
goodness.
this is gonna be Mountain. This is like it's gonna be Mountain Drake over to the side of PMAA, which that's fine. I think you give this one up, and I think this spirit. I'm gonna go ahead and say this spirit's infernal. It's an infernal spirit. I'm calling it.
Yeah. Windrake.
No,
No.
Cloud. I
I've
bet you
seen
made
so
him.
many Windrake souls today. This week in
I
general.
yeah. I haven't played a lot lately, but I haven't seen a lot of those. Oh, we do see the stinky. Oh, look.
Team's looking for picks here.
That's
Rob with
really
the
looking that is
excellent
really
route. I
good.
don't think he
Oh my
wants to
gosh.
take it. Piper Ice is looking for the ultimate. Senna looking for the ult. They're still chasing. They're 2 ults down and they're chasing. Got a 5v4 in the bot lane. Rise just freely farming the top.
Yeah, I think this is the right call. Just go ahead and send. Go ahead and send the Rise topside with the Rise split push because the Rise is going to create pressure, draw at least one of the people up, or just get the top tower.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
really good trade, honestly, making a team fight. As long as nothing terrible happens, no one gets severely caught, you can push objectives and keep a 4v5 a poke trade.
and a really good rotation to mid tower, especially for like from both teams. Really good recognition. Oh, good ultimate.
Excellent lockdown from Vi. Rise teleporting into the backline. Lolly Hentai Police making it out by the skin of their teeth. Kaligi ulting in as well. New Kappa Turk picking up the kill on Menbung. Tons of pressure for this turret. PMAA following up the backline with Draven killing Kaligi. Damage coming down on the turret. Not enough to take it out. They're going to walk away with their lives. A 1-for-1 trade and a lot of damage on mid turret.
I think it's favorable. You traded towers. You traded a kill. You traded towers. You traded a lot of pressure in the mid lane, and especially if you're fire me. What? Siren said fire me. Wait a minute. That's rude. Um, I really think one of the big things to note is that, like, this MF is very strong at the moment. Like, 5, 1, and 4 resets, and, like, you have probably IE. You at least probably, I think you
And
at
a
least have
trade
IE.
kill for kill. Piper Ices for Sivan in the mid lane.
Yeah, 1,400 gold. I think 1,450. You could
That
get that
was
with
a
those 2 items.
huge gold shift.
Yeah.
About 1,000 gold shift onto the Kog'Maw.
Big stinky poison boy.
Big stinky poison boy getting 1,000 gold.
Yeah. So what I'm noticing, interestingly enough, we see the Warden's mail picked up from the Rise. That's a really interesting
Yeah.
buy. I like it. because you're looking at the auto attacks of the Kog'Maw, the auto attacks of the Draven, you can slow their auto attack speed. I like it. Don't get me wrong. It's a very interesting buy. And Warden's Mail only builds into Randuin's. And oh god, what else does it build
Is
into?
it Frozen Heart maybe? Or is that
Perhaps.
Kindle Gem? I'm not sure.
No. Frozen Heart is no, it is Frozen Heart. So it very well could be Rose. It very well could be Frozen Heart. Yeah, Hoagie
Yeah, it's
confirmed that it
a
is.
great choice, I guess, and into that team. I personally would like to see a Rod of Ages building more health and mana, especially with that that tier upgraded. I'm not sure. it's a tough call.
Hoagie's got a good point because rise damage does scale off mana. So
Yep.
if you can buy an item to negate the auto attack damage and get mana off of it, that's a much more beneficial item. Like I completely forgot about that. Thank you, Hoagie. I also don't
It's
play
interesting
Rise
too to
because I
see
think
like
it
the
changes
amount
stuff.
of gold committed to a Frozen Heart versus something that would also have AP scaled into it, where you could simply swap out your boots for Ninja Tabbies and negate a lot of damage on those autos from the Camille, autos from the Draven, and the Kog'Maw. Although I believe Kog'Maw looks to be going more of an AP-oriented build.
That's what it's looking like. Yeah, I think regardless, still it'll hurt because there'll be the you'll get the W, and the W will put just minimal AP. W scales off AD, right?
New Kappa Turk getting the excellent pick on Fudgy. Fudgy flashing, but getting triple ulted by the team. WSP looking to close this out. New Kappa going for the dive. Vitautus landing the root and taking the kill home for dinner. Excellent picks on the part of WSP there.
A really interesting comment here from chat.
Flash in from Vitautus. Picking up another kill. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, there's some really interesting comments in chat here, which I really like. Between Super Hoagie and I want to know Good Day, or also known as Bear Jr. There's some really good discussion saying that like Hoagie thought it was going to be a Righteous Glory, and I think it's also a really good build on Rise because you can effectively giving yourself the ability to run at them a little bit faster and kind of catch up and put that root on them. Bear saying that Roa is standard after Seraphs, but Frozen can work. Sometimes that much armor is not needed before HP, since Camille does true damage, and that's a really good point as well. Something that's kind of been overlooked is that Camille has a portion of true damage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really difficult thing to kind of like make note of, but I think it's really important.
With the Vi Kled, like who is your true tank? I suppose the Frozen Heart does make a lot of sense. If you have three bulky boys, do you really need a big beefy boy?
Yeah, build a couple, have a couple bruisers with a little bit of extra HP and damage. You'll be fine. Oh, that's
interesting
really
root trade coming down from Rob. We see a flash in from Lolly Hentai getting the kill on Slaga, but the Zyra does go down to Pipe Rices. Pipe Rice is getting shut down by Pantheon. Another transfer, 600 some gold, going over to PMAA. This is still anyone's game. Holy cow. Slight gold lead on favor of WSP, but PMAA is knocking back objectives as well.
Yeah, the objective difference is now caught up. It's opposite of top side to boss side of map. And I really think that PMAA is in a good place now because they have top side advantage. They can look to pressure Baron. If you're looking to pressure Baron, that's really effective, and especially because your team fighting, I think your team fighting is a lot better on the side of PMAA. Like you have a good AoE ultimate in Rob. You have the Kog'Maw who just spit out damage, and Camille can lock one person down with ultimate and keep them in an area, and that's gonna help make things a lot easier to hit that Zyra ultimate, especially on a good target. So.
You see some things coming down for Baron, possibly. Scryer Orb, Farsight Orb, is that what it's called?
The blue one, I think. The blue one is
Blue Trinky.
Blue
ADC by Good Vision.
I hate you. Is that supposed to be like a Baby Yoda meme?
No, I just My brain turned off, so it's
Stinky,
like,
stinky,
what would
stinky
I just
Trinky?
call it?
Is it the stinky Trinky?
The Stinky Shrinky. Oh my god. Oh.
Dude, I was legit made for like memes like this.
We see Slaga baiting back towards Raptor camp, and Menbung hunting the group with his Q, finds them in the bush. Kog'Maw pinging for help on Baron, but Pantheon getting caught out in the mid lane, taking some turret shots. Ultimate coming down from Piper Isis. Fudgy Ditters healing and Wing away.
Fight.
Question mark ping coming down from the bot lane.
Damn.
WSP looking to wonder, where is the enemy team? There's not a whole lot of vision they have in the enemy jungle, even though they have all the outer turrets gone. Most of their vision is committed to their topside jungle. We see New Kappa Turk going for C-Van. C-Van taking the Senna ultimate, getting locked down and killed by Piper Isis. Draven ultimate raking through the team.
Oh, that's disgusting. That can be a
out
damage.
and flashing away to safety. It is a 5v4. Lolly Hentai Police going in, getting trade damage on Vitautus. Kaligi jumping in and out, dismounted. Vi jumping back in with the Q. Menbung getting annihilated by damage from Rise and from Misfortune. But we're currently at a 4v4. We still have some tools left in the kit. Lolly Hentai Police jumping in the backline. Piper Isis picking up the kill on the Zyra. Double kill for Piper Isis. Excellently played. That's a terrible fight for PMAA. They want to try and stabilize this game. They can't fall behind because WSP does have the scaling advantage. Misfortune still working on just her third item. She is only going to get stronger, folks.
Yeah, we're about to have the PowerPoint turn where she hits 3 items, I think, after that fight. Oh yeah, RFC. So really, we're starting to see a little bit of damage. But really, what we're looking at here, I think it's just you're looking at the outscaling game, and really, your Draven is just too far behind at this point. I'm sorry, like,
yeah,
Draven is so
still working on that second item.
It's
behind
so
about
unfortunate.
3,000 gold.
Yeah, and the Pantheon is starting to fall off a little bit too. Pantheon was very strong in the early going, but it looks like Pantheon's kind of fallen off now in terms of like applicability in team fights and damage output, and it's really rough.
We've seen
But we
PMAA go for this Drake, and this is just the second Drake for them. We see a big ultimate coming down from Rob, looking for something. Draven ultimate, Senna ultimate, Misfortune ultimate. New Kappa Turk in the front line trying to pick off Fudgy Ditters, gets annihilated. Meanwhile, the team scoops up the kill on Menbung, and Vitautus getting the solo kill on C-Van. That's 3 kills for WSP and only 1 pick for PMAA. Vi frontlining like that towards the ADC and the top laner was a very good call. We get the pings to the bot lane. Looks like they're going to go try and take this turret if they can, get that pressure.
I think the concept of the fight was good there. I think the Vi being incredibly disruptive was very strong. And I would like to say that, like, it was Vi is literally too tanky, and just being able to disrupt the ADC like that, as well as the top laner, and pull them to just
Pantheon all coming in, but it is a 1v4, and Draven walking in. They are trickling in. This is a bad situation for PMAA to engage in. They need to stay under their turret. Lolly Hentai Police looking for the pick on Vitautus. Gets knocked away by Kaligi. Kaligi dismounted. Kog'Maw ulting in, trying to get the pick. Lolly Hentai dashes in, flashes. C-Van gets the kill, gets the slow on Piper Isis, getting tons of chunk damage, shutdown gold onto Draven. That is stacks of adoration for him to cash in gold. He is now caught up. He's only 2,000 behind. Vi ultimate coming in, picking C-Van off the back line.
So the team stayed. I didn't realize the team had stayed, but I was just saying it was questionable. Like TP, I was like, you got a 1v5 here, Chief?
More ults coming in. New Kappa going down under the turret. It is time to get out, folks.
A little bit of an overstay on the side of SSM.
Yeah, it's a really tough call to make because, adrenaline's flowing. I have no clue what the comms might be like, but you get that first turret. You got to remember, Baron's still up. You're still in the lead. You're equal in drags. Farm your jungle. Farm the enemy jungle. Deny them those camps. You don't have to necessarily engage too much, especially in the position that WSP's in with their a bit better scaling comp. But honestly, it's still going to be neck and neck, I think, up until 40 minutes. I think this is a game that's definitely decided by 5th and 6th items.
I don't know. I really think the right team fight will determine this. I don't think you need 5 items. I think it's how you play the fight and where you select your fight. Like right now, you're playing into a favored corridor for SSM, especially with the ultimates they have. Really? Oh, this is very big for the Vi. It's really bad.
Goodness. Tons of ults going down. Piper, huge damage, but just at the range of the team. Picks up 1 kill. Kog'Maw backlining Piper.
Yeah. If the fight had stayed within that corridor, it might have been favorable, but here comes Vitalis doing Vitalis things.
Vitalis thinking whether or not to take that ult, ends up getting in close enough.
That's a 3 for 3.
3 for 3.
You're left with mid and support, and then you're left with jungle support. That might be worth. I don't know. That's always questionable to figure out if mid support and jungle support, what's worth, what's not. It's always very questionable. But I think that was. I really think that was a very good. If they had kept it in the corridor of that jungle, I think the fight could have gone a little bit differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it comes down to a lot of summoner spell tracking, good vision, and making sure that you're deciding where the fights are. If the enemy team's deciding where the fight is, you kind of have to leave that up to the random chance that maybe they're taking a riskier play. They might not have fully calculated out what you have available left on your ultimates, left on your team CC. It's a lot to keep track of, and that's all about the communication that your team has going on, too. Cog rhymes with Pog. Yes, it does.
Therefore, yo, imagine if Lil Wayne wrote a rap about Cog. Think it'd be good, or you think it'd be trash? I'm gonna say trash.
I'm gonna say, Lil Wayne's got some talent. He's got some good work ethic. I think he could pull it off, even though it might not be his best work.
I will say though, Lil Wayne can actually sing, kind of like T-Pain can actually sing. So
I believe it. C-Van face checking the bush with New Kappa. New Kappa starting off with half healthing the C-Van. Red team securing the dragon. PWM. Sorry, WSP. Whatever. See a lot of action happening. A lot of damage happening on the side of WSP. Locking down those picks. Lolly Hentai Police getting caught out. That is 3 kills. We may see a Baron here, folks. Getting that mid lane prio. They still have bot and top pressure.
yeah, Rise is getting the money he needs for his items with 330 farm.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Which one of yous? But yeah, I think we're starting to see the beginning of the end here.
Yeah, that Baron is it's a scary power swing, especially for a team that's very strong. Vitalis creating that bot lane pressure.
That's
stinky. Oh, Medbung
wow, really
with
good
the stopwatch. Vitalis
the outplay?
Flash away.
The outplay by
C-Van
Vitalis,
still chasing, gets picked out by New Kappa Turk. There's the Vi ultimate. Zyra trying to help. We see the teleport coming in from Kaligi. Half health, though. Taking a lot of damage from those Zyra plants. She is...
Yo, those plants hurt.
They do.
That's when you say liar, liar, plants on fire.
See the first inhibitor going down for the side of WSP. Piper and Slaga fighting the Mantheon of Menbung. See an ultimate go down, but just a little too late. Does not save Piper. Rob looking for roots. I get it. It's a root.
Siren had a very good message I want to read out. If Rise gets 500 plus farm, I will mystery gift player of the game.
Huge pressure,
So-
triple inhibitor. Holy cow.
So hey, at Vitalis, if you get 500 plus farm, in your player of the game, you might get something, or you give something to your teammates without you having to give something to your teammates. Just be better at farming. Yeah, stretch out the game, make it a
Stretch
more
out the
intense game.
Yeah, we'd probably have to stretch out the game another 10 minutes at least to see Rise hit 500.
Would you say he would have to prove himself in Rise?
Rise to the occasion. Eh? Or if he loses, would you say he blew it? Okay.
Okay. Okay.
When
Barry,
he got arrested, they booked him. Okay.
Oh my god. Bears onto my big brain strats.
We're having a good time.
Bears onto my big brain strats. It's a trap. If he hears it, it means he's a cat. All blue.
Oh
book.
my god.
I love you, Bear. Shout out. But you the best.
Oh, you know what Rise's favorite subject is in school?
Don't say history.
Spelling.
God. Why do you do this to? Why do you
So
do this to me?
WSP is walking it in. Triple inhibitor pressure with Baron. They have tons of minions, full health. Rob flashing and looking for the root, trying to get those picks, trying to create a distraction, but there's so many minions. Menbong ulting in. Lolly Hentai walking away from the ultimate. Gets killed by Rise. Just too much damage on the table. GG's coming down from both sides. Kog'Maw looking for those last trades. Game 2, WSP. Well played, guys.
I'm still gonna ask the question. So if Rise's best subject in school was spelling, what was his worst?
I don't know.
I'm probably gonna say arithmetic.
Arithmetic.
Just throw something out there.
Yeah.
Just throw something out there. You know how
Oh
it
my
is.
gosh. Or I think
So-
he probably took those extracurriculars in ironsmithing, right?
Oh,
casting?
true. Yeah, I really, you know. Anyways, MVP for the game.
Can we talk about damage?
Can we talk
So,
about MVP?
Rise was
though?
blowing
If-
people up, but Zyra matched him in damage. She was off by 100 some points. Like,
Disgusting.
what? What even? Rob doing work. That was game 2, Jirachi. So I have a straw poll for game 2 in the chat. Let us know who you think was the
Who are you going to give it to? I'm just going to ask the question. Who are you going to give it to? I have an answer.
Let me take a look again and think through this.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna go against the norm. I'm gonna say ADCs can win MVP. Although I do
Yeah.
think Vitalis definitely is very deserving. I think Piper creating split pressure as well as Vitalis and some very key team fight ultimates from Piper allowed the team to come through and kind of prove that there was a lot of power to be shown up.
Absolutely.
So I think either way, if you vote for Vitalis, you vote for Piper, you vote for Kaliki,
It's
Kappa,
always
you vote
tough when you've got the bot lane 2 people. You know, obviously it's a shared workload. It's really hard to differentiate. Like, so if the ADC gets a kill, is that because the support set it up or because the ADC followed up? Like, there's so many spells to keep track of, and autos and placement, positioning. It's always a tough one, but it definitely seems like Piper was doing a lot of work. But Vitautis, you can't, discount those numbers of, 11, 1, and 8, 369 CS, ton of gold, ton of damage.
Right, I agree with you. But my personal vote is going to go to Piper.
So Well, we'll give it a few more seconds on that straw poll for Game 2. Game 1 was New Kappa Turk, or was it Slaga?
No, it was the hottest, the
Slaga.
coolest.
Slaggy baby.
Slagisha. Slagisha.
Okay.
Slagisha.
So if
Oh my gosh, she did.
Slagisha wants to join us in player of the game 1, as well as, I mean, right now it's Vitautus. I'm going to refresh.
The Quidius.
Vitautus, join us up in player of the game 1 as well.
Hey, what's good?
Woo!
Hey, good shit, coach. GG.
Rise is fucking busted.
Dude, you're not kidding. That, like, you being able to just like walk out that last fight at the end was actually pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Dude, I feel so bad for Rob, like, cause in that final fight, if you guys saw that, he flashes in, and I just blow him up before he even ults.
Yeah, there's just a lot of fights where you just kind of like, oh, you're like, oh, dude, let me just put my face on the keyboard, hit the combo for Rise, reset my EQ, and then just do it again, and it's just like, oh, dude, this is free low.
It's kind of convenient, because, like, a lot of fights didn't really start out on the pitch side. A lot of fights kind of started to where it was, like, kind of like one-on-one. It started out as a skirmish and progressed, and that was really nice, because it just let me ult on, like, someone like Sivan on the back line and just run him down.
Yeah, Steven was having a rough time that game trying to deal with you. But like also, welcome Slaga, GG's.
GG.
Trying to slide in here and not make it unknown. You know how it be. So before we go any further, I want to go back to game 1. All right, listen, Chief. So is this the example of what happens when you get a Slaga Pike and like this is what we call the cheek clamp from game 1? Because that was just like that was probably one of the most well executed Pike games that like I've seen in PMAA LCS.
Yeah, this Pike sucks. We should let it through more often, I think.
It's. I mean, I hope I can play it more, but it's more of a pick that thrives off of really team play. Because if my team is playing well, then it allows me to do a little bit more risky things and allow myself to allow me to go into a little bit more of a dangerous spot because we can control the vision and kind of move it around. So, I mean, I'd love to play it again, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I truly think that like I know that you're known for historically playing Thresh and Alistar, and this champion being released within the last year and a half. Like you have definitely demonstrated a lot of technical prowess on this champion to like put in the time and like kind of understand how he works and be able to, thrive successfully. I'm gonna hop over to chat real quick. They don't talk about the game 1 draft. What was the logic behind the Olaf?
So we just we actually didn't pick there. Pro Draft picked for us, and then we were like, "Yeah, Olaf looks good," and then we just left it. Like we originally were like, "What do we want for jungle?" And then no one, like Tyler was like, and then we Olaf locked, and we are like, "That works."
Awesome.
Yeah, good enough. It really do be like that. Good enough.
Yeah, it wasn't as nice to us because the Kiana was a Pro Draft pick, and I was like, I can play that.
Ooh,
yikes! You hate to see that. Also, welcome Minbung GG's.
Yeah, GG's. I'll just be
guys.
pseudo Dustin.
Oh, perfect.
Pseudo-Dustin.
Pseudo dust.
So, I guess question to you then, Minbung. Like, how was playing? Obviously, the early game pressure of an Olaf in the jungle is very difficult to deal with, and obviously Kiana is much more of a late game team, like is more centered around team fight skirmishes. So, kind of walk me through. Like, I understand Pro Draft picked it and was like, how do I do that? Kind of talk me through how you dealt with those issues and how you guys tried to in game 1 kind of keep that mentality of like, look, we kind of got screwed, but like let's try and see if we can push through.
Okay, well, so I'll answer your question, then I'll tell you the truth. So the way you need to try to do that is You need to know, like, if you can find vision for where he is, you need to know what side of the map he started on. I think we believe he started um, bot side, so I didn't think he would invade because I don't know what I was thinking. I was kind of autopiloting, but then what you need to do in that situation is that if you're in the weaker side of the jungle matchup, you just need to either enact vertical jungling or just be where they're not. So if that means just clearing your entire top red side, that's fine. Or for me, it would be going to red to his blue to Gromp, so I can do a 3 camp and then become level 3 and be okay. And then I play top side, and then you split the map from mid lane up and then below. And then that means bot side's playing weak side, and that means your top side is your strong side because it's where your jungler is, right?
Yeah.
What actually happened is I just got dicked, and then it was really, really tough because Olaf's a power farmer, and I didn't have access to my blue side jungle, and Tyler, um, you know, he counter jungled really effectively where you like leave the camps up because since there's no more catch up XP anymore, leaving a camp at the previous level that it was at really bones the previous jungle. And I believe there was a time where I was level 4 and he was level 7 or something very strong like that. So, him having access to ult and me just being a girl with a hula hoop wasn't the best part of game 1 for sure.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough. And sometimes it just kind of ends up like that. We do see. I do. I have a question. For oh god, for my mental pony for Slaga. Talk about how you inted that kill in game 1, Slaga.
I didn't. He's just trying to. This is slander.
Is this? Are you sure about that? Listen,
Yes, I'm in a
is
common
it
law class. This is slander.
is Twitch chat ever wrong? Yikes! The
If you
very
ever
important
think
question.
if you ever think they're right, then you're wrong.
Yikes. Okay, so um one I guess I do have one question. So in game 2, we saw a lot of early pressure from you, Bung. Like a lot of very strong level 1, like the 2 early skirmishes that really got you ahead. It was like what? You ended up being 2-0 at about 5 minutes. And that was really strong. And that kind of set back like they kind of set back New Cap a little bit, especially with denying him red buff and kind of sweeping through that topside jungle as well. So kind of, I want to get both sides. First, take me through how it was, how kind of things were going for you guys, Bung, and then on the other side, like Vitalis, tell me how things go. So we'll start with Bung.
So it's the exact same side of the matchup. Vi is not very strong early. She has a fairly weak clear. It seemed like Tyler either had vision or he knew I was my way up because he started my blue. So he was trying to 3 buff. And then I got him right there with because Pantheon is pretty much unmatched in the early stages of the game. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if there's another jungler outside of maybe Olaf, but Pantheon has CC, so that's nice. And then I had pressure from top lane. We had a wave pushed in mid, but then just communication broke down after I was trying to steal the Raptors and get a little bit greedy. Right there was basically uh, me being a little bit greedy right there. So try to set back the Vi, and I think Zyra then took the Gromp from Vi when we, got vision on the opposite side. When something you can do for all y'all out there, if you know junglers on the top side of the map and your lane's pushing in as a bot laner, you use the support and ADC or support and jungler can roam into the enemy jungler and place down a ward like Rob did. So that's what happened on our side. I inted a little bit by being over aggressive.
Yeah, so Vitalis kind of walked me through what was happening in comms after New Kappa got picked off and very early, and then the failed kind of follow up fight from Kaligi and New Kappa again.
So, like, honestly, like, quite literally, all that was going through comms was Tyler's like, oops, my bad. And then we just kind of like, all right, that's fine. And I'm like, I'm Rise. And then I'm like, I'm basically playing against Rise mid, but like, way crappier. So we just chill, we just scale up, we wait for someone to walk up, and it'll work fine. And then if no one walks up, we outscale anyway, so we just power farm. And luckily for us, a couple people walked up a couple times, so that got us back in, got me a kill early, and then I was like, all right, time to go do Rise things. Peace, guys. And then, well, yeah.
Yeah, just go
Ve-
spear push.
a very nice do and be inspired build, by the way.
Thank you. I love that build. It's so friggin' busted.
Yeah, when there isn't a lot of AP damage, that because of your mana scaling, you just kind of do
Yep. I'll
whatever.
just drop the raw stats on that one.
Come again?
Uh,
Um,
uh, Yikes. I do have I have one last question, and then and then I'll throw it over to I don't know if Spooked has anything. This is Piper's first game back in a little bit. Like he
Second.
took a second game back. Okay, well I haven't been paying attention because I'm a little bit degenerate then. I remember watching him casting back in the last spring, like the last major split. That wasn't summer. And he popped off incredibly well. So what's it like for you, Slaga? What's it like having him back? And for I guess Sean Bung, what's it like playing against him again?
He's back. I mean, so Piper and I go way back to season 3 on the boosted Gorilla Monkeys when we were the
Number one seed.
yeah, we were #1 seed, but then we lost in first round because of whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, what
Hey.
was the team that beat you?
I actually don't remember.
Rip.
Damn.
Oh, that's right. Oh, well.
Yeah, no, Rip is actually the name of the team, not like Rip.
Yeah.
We giga tilted Piper. All I
Yeah.
remember is Greg playing Morgana, and then him not dying until like the very last fight.
Hey, it's all right. But anyway, Piper and I had a lot of built-in synergy already, and then we just brought it back. He's a little bit rusty, and this is the best time for me to play with Piper because he said himself that he's washed up and not toxic, and that's my favorite time to play with him when he's humbled.
Sit down,
Yeah,
yo.
I'm glad Piper's back in the league. It's always good to get brothers back into the league. Everyone needs to understand that while this is a fun league and we take it very like semi-seriously with all the stats and we're streaming like we're an LCS thing, that it's still just for fun and we're a bunch of amateurs and that real life always takes precedence. So I'm just glad he's taken time in his real life and I'm really glad we were able to welcome him back. Love you, Piper.
That's just like I feel like that's just such a wholesome note to like end it on. But I'm gonna just ask Spooked, you got anything, bud?
No, I'm good. I'm tapped out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this has been PMAA LCS. Later this week or later this weekend, I guess we have a couple more games. I believe we have CC and VA, and then LTN and BOB. I think those are the last 2 games of this week. So be on the lookout for those. I think they're both on Sunday. Again, thank you everyone for coming out. GGs to both teams. You both played phenomenally well, and we will see you back here on Sunday for another phenomenal game. Thank you.